we've been working towards being able to run the engine in the engine run stand. Number one, to keep it fresh and to make sure everything is moving the way it's supposed to be moving, and to keep the engine from essentially seizing up over time while we're waiting to install it in the car. To that end, we needed a stand, we needed engine mounts, we needed radiator hoses, we need gauges, we need wiring, radiator, brackets, a lot of things to make this happen. But I feel strongly that it needs to happen because I don't want the engine to continue to sit. I know the engine is good, I know that it's run, I know the engine is strong, but it's just sitting here. And I'm really uncomfortable with letting it continue to do that. So, there are some things about this stand that are exceptionally challenging. And the first thing is that these casters are terrible. I don't know what thought process went into choosing those casters for this stand, but I would have gladly paid $100 more to have better casters. Number one, better to roll around. Number two, tall enough so that you can actually put your hoist underneath the stand, which is the second problem, is that there's not enough room to take an engine hoist and slide it underneath here so you can actually put an engine in this stand. It is in a previous video, which I'm sure you can see by checking the link. It is quite the process of getting this engine in here. So the second thing is that I feel the engine is too high. In trying to place where the radiator is going to go, as you can see here, the radiator is going to be above this cross member. I have this flipped the wrong way because I needed more room, because I knew that was going to be a problem. These are just too high. There's at least a good 6 inches of space here where this engine could come down lower and it wouldn't have to be so high up in the air. So the one thing I think that we are going to do is I think that we are going to cut these back to allow the engine to come down to free up all this other space. Now that's the hard one to do, especially since these brackets are almost already topped out. So in lieu of, oh, actually, let's see. Actually, it looks like this can actually come down. So I may cut these and re-drill these holes so that this is about 6 inches lower. It will change this, it will change everything here, and allow everything to work a little better, in my opinion. And I won't have to mess and monkey with this. I can just flip it around the right way. I think I'm gonna buy an extension for this to bring this up a little higher. Maybe 6 inches up and 6 inches down will allow me to clear everything I need to clear. And I'm also gonna switch out those terrible casters, sorry, bending over, for these that I've had forever and have never used. And these are rated according to the side here. It says pneumatic caster, 280 pounds load rating per caster. So with 4 of these, that's over 1,000 pounds. I don't think the engine weighs 1,000 pounds. I don't think the engine with the stand weighs 1,000 pounds. So these will also be, certainly, give me the necessary distance from the floor to be able to put the engine run stand on there. So I already had these on hand, but I do need to drill additional holes because this bolt pattern is a little wider in this direction. Those are a little wider than the ones that are on there. And so we need to buy some hardware for that. At a minimum, buy a hardware for these. Some square stock to go in here as a plug, to then we got another piece of this to create an extension to bring this up higher, to flip these around so we can actually start using the engine stand the way we want to. That'll be the first thing we do today, is to actually pull this engine back off of the stand, make those modifications, put the engine back on the stand, actually in probably much less time than it takes to get it off of there, because it'll be up higher. And yeah, so it's off to the hardware store. Let's get started. Wheels. So 3 hours later, yeah, it's been a while since we were last on camera. We were riding around collecting probably a half of what we need for this project. So the first engineering issue to solve is that this control panel is welded to this cross member. And when you have this cross member in place, it interferes tremendously with everything going on behind it. So at first I thought I could just reverse it and just put it backwards this way, which is fine. But I realized that the radiator is probably going to be here, the fan's probably going to be here, and there's a whole bunch of wires. So my idea is to get this up high enough so that I may not actually need to lower the engine at all and just leave the engine where it is. So in order to do that, we have to extend this pole. Now this is 1 1/4 square stock. The only 1 1/4 square stock I could find today had holes in all 4 sides and was like $34 for a 3-foot section. I really didn't want to do that. I really didn't feel like I needed to go that extra length because I was already going to put a plug in here with 1-inch stock. So then I thought, okay, I don't even need the outside sleeve. I can just take this with washers to replicate the thickness of this tube in between here and the 1-inch stock. So what will ultimately happen, excuse me, pardon me, is we have this 1-inch aluminum stock, which costs like, I think $6 or $5. It fits right in there. Now, I'm gonna cut it in half and I'm gonna bolt it to the place that's already available here. But then what I can do is I can simply take this and I can simply use washers to make up the difference between the 2 pieces and be able to bolt this at any height that I want, given that this piece is 36 inches long. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna raise it up just enough so that I can see the panel. That's simply a matter of just cutting this piece, drilling a hole where the original hole was, and drilling a hole here to replicate where this goes, and washers and bolts, which I also purchased. That was my first stop, which was Ace Hardware. So if I do that and I put it up about here, I don't actually have to move the engine at all. Now what I also was thinking about doing was hanging the radiator from this cross member rather than holding it from the sides. That way it'll hang and it won't go anywhere. The way I'm gonna do that, ooh, heavy. The way I'm gonna do that is with this strip of slotted plating, looks like galvanized steel or galvanized metal of some type, and just simply cut this in half and bolt this to the cross member and then bring it down to the mounting point, top mounting point of the radiator. That'll just keep the radiator in place. I don't think it's gonna vibrate too much, and actually it's got enough give, I think, that it'll allow it to have some kind of flexibility as we go through, but it'll keep the radiator where it's supposed to be. I think that's good enough for that part of this situation. The other part of the situation is these freaking casters. So I could do this and not mess with the casters at all, but I'm gonna have to do something about them at some point anyways. So, how do I want to deal with this? It's so frustrating, the caster, because the casters are actually bolted to both side members. So now I can just take the caster off on one corner and then just put another one in and then just start rotating that way. You probably have to pull the whole engine. Or at a minimum, just lift everything up so that it can then be taken apart piece by piece. I'll also have to I'll also have to drill holes, at least one hole here for this side of the cross member. So if I can get this up in the air enough to stick the engine hoist underneath it, I could just lift it up in situ and I can kind of work with it right here. Let's see if that's possible. because I don't really want to have to take everything out of the garage to make more space. So let's see what we can make happen with that. So I left eating my breakfast and I returned needing to eat lunch. So let's make a pause and I'll be right back. So just to recap, we need to make room for a radiator and have better casters. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna push the casters down the road so that we can at least get this part accomplished, because the engine can be moved as is. So what I did was I went and bought 2 of these 36-inch aluminum 1-inch square tubing, 1-inch tubing, 3-foot aluminum square. They fit perfectly inside like that. And then I marked holes for my control panel. And now my control panel will sit up here. This will also help to keep properly routed wiring away from properly mounted wiring away from the engine itself, because it'll be routed down the sides. So it'll be clear and away from all of that. This leaves us plenty of room in here for the radiator, which is going to hang from 2 strappings that we have here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this permanently, not permanently, but we're going to drill holes here. We're going to drill holes here. We're going to clamp that. We're going to clamp that, and then we're going to address where the straps are going to go to hold the radiator. And that's what we're going to do, because I said so. So probably need to see if I can. Oh, you're so difficult to move on these horrible casters. Okay, that's good enough. Let's not move it around too much. That's good. That's good. That's safe. Okay, and I need a Sharpie. And I need a Sharpie for here. A Sharpie for here. Okay, and the next thing we'll do is try to figure out which drill bit is correct for this hole, which hopefully I have one said drill bit. That's too small. I'm guarantee you this one's too big, but that's okay, because it can be too big if it needs to. Although I would really like to have all my drill bits where they're supposed to be in the proper location. Let me see if I didn't just dump it in a drawer back over here. I don't see it in there. Oh, there we go. That's what I did. My loose drill bits. First order of retrieval Adam Savage special process here. Yeah, let's see if this is the right guy. Hey, looky there, we have a winner. We got a wiener. You're the big wiener. God, I hope not. All right, I'll take a sip of my 0 sugar root beer to give me energy in my process. It is now 2:30, by the way. We've been at this since 7, and we're just getting started on the actual work. That's awesome. It's really impressive. We are the most efficient workshop there is. Good. Let's see what progress we can make today. Let's start down here. Now, because things are flying, I should probably avail myself of a set of safety glasses. That's a smart thing. And you know, one of our mottos here in the shop is do your very best to do smart things. So here we are with safety glasses on. Good. Good. Now let's test and see if we successfully did what we were trying to do. I'm pretty sure this was the small set of screws. Oh, look. Oh, looky there. Almost like we knew what we were doing. How about that, sports fans? Now I do need to scavenge a couple of doodads. So on the bottom here, what we'll do is we will sacrifice 2 of these washers to use at a later date, to be named later. Good. And now we need our trusty open-ended wrench, 1/2 inch open-ended wrench, 14 1/2, and we'll cinch this down. All right, and we are good to go. That's not going anywhere, and that's super sturdy structurally this way. Very good. All right, on to the next adventure. Oh, on to the next adventure. Yeah, look at that. They're making progress now. It's starting to look like something. So, one of the reasons why this is taking so long is sometimes you really just have to stop and look and stare at something for a while, like a sculptor, very much like a sculptor, to kind of sort out what your plan is going to be. Because once you have the plan, it actually is relatively quick, relative to the rotation of the Earth. But it's the sorting of the process that really requires a lot of brain power. Just not a lot of brain power. It just takes time to kind of figure out, okay, this will work, this will work. Because like I was going to cut this, now I realized it sits nicely. I'll just get another one and just save myself that step. Because I needed another one of these straps anyways, because this isn't long enough to cut in half and use what we want to do. So this will give us, we'll be able to mount the top and the bottom. I'll put it over here so you can see. We'll be able to mount both the top and the bottom of the radiator, along with anchoring it to the cross member, and that'll give it even more stability. Stability, the cornerstone of life. Okay, so now we got that guy. Now we need to do these 2 guys over here. Let's see if we can do this without injury. Let me put a glove on. I'm just nervous about my hand being anywhere near the axis of destruction. There's a lot of metal shavings, so do me a favor and remind me to sweep all those up when we get a chance to. I can feel them getting hot too, so that's where you got to really pay attention to hot metal shavings landing on your skin. All right, one more.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Nick, why did you not pick steel tubing? That way you could have welded it. Well, we have to sometimes be very economical here in the shop. And by economical, I mean we got very little budget. And as a result of us having very little budget, we have to do what we can to try our very best to stretch Mrs. Durante's money. Because that's the right thing to do. All right, so I have extra. Do I have extra? Let's see. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay, so I've got one of these. I've got one of these. Got that, and I've got this. Stay here. Hold, please. Hold, hold, hold. Take it easy. Okay, so now I need to figure out how to get... I probably should have done this off, because that would have been a smart thing. And we like to try to do smart things if we can. Okay, I've now got it pinned with my armpit while I'm trying to hold the washer in place to go in there. So that's the first part. Party in the first part, party in the second part. Now, aha! Look at you go! Now when we cinch this up, let us hope and pray that it actually is sufficient to cinch up what we want to cinch up. Oh! It's okay. I didn't like you either. I'll just get another one. You can just stay down there and think about what you did. We'll use this guy. This guy looks super excited to be here. He's happy to be here. All right. Here we go. Let's see how this straightens it up. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so it did something. It probably needed more thickness. That's kind of weird. I thought I had accounted for that thickness. I guess I did not. But that's okay. It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Okay. Ah! Okay, that's about the second time you need to stop doing that. Let's grab these two. And these two. Let's get this guy down because he's looking like he wants to run away from his life. Man, everything's falling down today. Okay, so we're going to go this in here. We're going to just set this guy over here. We got to get this guy up in here. Man, it's a big gap. That's interesting. Okay. It's all right. It's going to be fine. It's okay. Everything's okay. Oh, it's... what? Okay, you're funny. You're a funny guy. Ha 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 ha. You made your own magic act. Okay, so that's gonna stay up there somehow-ish. Some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. Okay. Let's do this. Let's put you up here. Like there. And then we'll bring you down into space this way. And then put you in there. See? And now we're going to get this in there. Like, oh, okay, 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 okie doke. And since you've decided that you want to come back and play, we'll bring you back Come on now. This isn't funny. It's not funny. Man. What am I going to do here? It'd be great if these were like magnetized or something. Lord. It's so roundy. There we go. Okay, the fit is a little off, but that's okay. We can live with that. Yes, we can. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Oh, hey, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not a smart thing. That's a non-smart thing right there. Now we have certainly made sure that that's not going anywhere. Yep, we have cinched the snot out of that. That thing is in like Flynn. Whee. Okay. Yes, okay. So we now have successfully completed the first of many steps. See if we can tighten some of this stuff up here. There you go. Better? Okay. That's best. Best we can do because it's not really bolted down here. It really should have a bolt through that way, in my opinion, to keep it from doing a lot of this number here, but that's okay. That's okay, Juan Pablo. All right, so now, if we're not changing this guy, and we have two strappy straps, and we can only really get one hole each. Let us measure. Let us carefully, very carefully, let's carefully flip this over and measure the width. Hold the hole with my trusty tape measure. Ooh, I see the root beer. Have to have more of that. Warning, we are out of root beer. That's a huge problem. And I've once again lost my tape measure. The best ever. Best day ever. Do you see it? Do you see it? I don't see it. It was on this table. It's now not on this table. Oh, here it is, hiding. Okay, so we're going to measure from hole to hole, and that is going to be approximately, center to center is 20 3/8. 20 3/8. So let's do first things first. Lord, I'm just like losing my mind here. Every little thing that I need is just runs away from me. Sharpie, 20 3/8. So we're going to measure the center, 31 1/2, 15 1/4-ish. That don't look right. What? 31 5/8, 15, 16, 15 1/2 is 31. And then it's 5/8, so it's like 31 and something. Something like that. 31 and something like that. See? That's exactly what I'm trying to do. 31, 15 1/2 is 31. 15 3/4 is 31 and a half, and then there's a little bit extra. So this little bit extra here, and then what did we say? I forgot already what we said over here. See? Doesn't pay to get old, that's for sure. 20 3/8. 21 3/8. 21 3/8. Holy moly macanooskies. Now you're making me do math. I don't like it. 21. Beep, 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 beep. 21 3/8 divided by 2 is 10 and a half. That makes us 21. 3/8 is 6/16. 3/16 plus 8/16 is 10 and 11/16. Oh, is that right? Well, that's got to be right. I'm looking right at it, as Derek would say. Okay, so 10 and 11. Oh, I need my marker back. I need that. I need that. 10 and 11/16 each direction. 10 8/16, 9/16, 10/16, 11/16. So right there. 10 and 11/16. Whoop, where's the center line? There it is. 10 and 11/16 is right there, about ish, sort of, kind of. Don't know, don't care. Okay. So now we got those to do. Same process. Who ate my drill? There it is. Okay. And now we're going through there. Of course, you can clearly see the black on black mark that I made with the black marker on black steel. Perfect. Here we go. Okay, this is tougher because this is steel. Okay. Whoa, look at you go. I'm wondering if I should do it from the back side, know that it's actually going to line up. Wait. Yeah, right, okay. Fabulous! I can smell the powder coating or paint or whatever's on here. Burning off. Alrighty, look at that. Almost like we knew what we were doing. All right, so now I need the longer ones, right? Right. Wait, what? Okay, so we're using the, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. The regular long. Let's make sure we got 2 of these guys. We're going to mount this in the front. That'll give us the most clearance to the engine that we can give it. Now there is 2 holes here, but that was actually for the gas tank, which we are not using in this application because we really don't want the gas tank right here in front of everything. I don't want that. So I bought ordered a a portable marine boat tank. It has a rubber line and a priming bulb on it, which seemed to be the consensus thing to do for the engine run stand. It's bigger, it's portable. You can actually carry it to the gas station properly, safely, and transport it safely as an actual gas tank. And we like safe. Safe is our middle name. No. Nope. Pasquale is our middle name. Safe is our nickname. Okay, so now we have, as you can see, we now have 2 straps so that we can then mount this guy. Oh, and so this guy will mount in here. Like so, or maybe even this way. Right? Right. Okay, so this is about the height we need, right? Correct? That's correct for the bottom. The top is still fighting with us for some odd reason. It's too long, actually. Okay, so this is... Hold on. Hold on. Now we're stuck. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Okay, so if I go with these holes here, stay, and stay. I'm marking the 2 holes that I want to use, or at least 1 hole for now. I do have regular non-automotive specific bolts and screws here, which will be perfectly fine for what we're trying to do. And I don't know if we're going to have to hog out the holes or not. I don't remember what I just saw. Let's see. Let's take a look at that again, shall we? It's close. Let's see. I guess I should have just used one of these. Okay, let's see what happens. What could go wrong? Yeah, so I think the inside edge of the hole needs to be routed out a little bit, which is perfectly fine. We have the technology. Let's see if that did the trick. Oh, heavy. Ooh, and it's hot now. It didn't like that at all. Okay, you stay. Stay and stay. Ooh, it's hot. It's burning up. I'm burning up. Okay, you just stay right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. All right, so now we're going to hog out the inside of that one. Okay. I wonder if we could just get away with just the 2, because this is clearly not lining up any of the other holes. I guess I could do one here. let's get this inside secured so it's not precariously hanging. Okay, I didn't do that well. That's not good because that's in the wrong place now. Great. Okay, see, so that's what you get for messing that up. Yep, so this is definitely off this way, which is lovely. So that was wrong. That's wrong. So that means we need to unscrew this. So what I should have done, so if you're doing this at home, do this one first, do this one first, do that one next, then figure out where your last hole has to be. That's the proper order of sequence in this operation in order for this to be right, because if you're too close, as it appears that I am, this strap will never go on. So there you go, clockwise or counterclockwise or clockwise, whichever one you prefer. I'm in Australia apparently because of that. Okay, so this was hogged out. This goes in here. This goes in there. On the 17th fairway. Okay, good. Crooked, but whatever. Pretend like that didn't happen. Come on, dude. I got no time for your foolishness. Okay, we're gonna take a chance. There we go. All right, and now, let's see how far off we were. Oh my God, we were off by a full 1.5 inches. That's okay. Okay, so now we'll let that set for a moment. Think about what it did. Oop, don't touch that. That's gonna burn you. Alrighty. Now that we're getting things going in the correct direction, I hope this works because this will be the second time I've drilled this hole. Hey, looky there. Hey! Look at me getting knocked out. Michael Keaton, Johnny Dangerously. Fabulous film. Okay, so we have now successfully hung the radiator. Ta-da! Ta-da! This hose is clearly too long. Let's see how we're doing over here. This looks good. This looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. This guy is just suffering needlessly. Maybe that'll actually be okay. Yep, that looks okay. Okay. I'm gonna take out camera 2 for a moment. Just so I can show my mentor what we're doing. Okay, so that is definitely not going anywhere. That is definitely not going anywhere. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. Okay. So yeah, progress made. Control panel raised up. Radiator installed. And the light's looking a little, oh, probably because we need to do that. And this is going to go in there. Okay, we're not going to put those in just yet. Okay, what's next? Gauges. Oh, gauges. Okay.